Africa is home to some of the world's poorest nations today. We're counting down the 10 poorest countries in Africa, based on their gross domestic product per capita. This isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding the real-life challenges millions of people face every day. Let's start our countdown at number 10, Madagascar. This large island nation is famous for its unique wildlife, but it struggles with political instability and a heavy reliance on agriculture, which is vulnerable to frequent natural disasters. This leaves many of its people in a state of persistent poverty. Coming in at number 9 is Liberia. Founded by freed American slaves, Liberia's development has been severely hindered by 2 devastating civil wars. The country is still rebuilding its infrastructure and institutions, and the economic recovery has been slow, affecting the livelihoods of ordinary citizens. At number 8, we have Chad, landlocked country in Central Africa. Chad's economy is heavily dependent on oil. However, fluctuations in global oil prices, combined with climate change turning fertile land into desert, and ongoing regional conflicts, have trapped a large portion of its population in poverty. Next, at number 7, is Malawi. Known as the warm heart of Africa, Malawi is a peaceful country but faces significant economic challenges. It relies heavily on agriculture, particularly tobacco, but struggles with rapid population growth, government corruption, and a high prevalence of HIV/AIDS, which puts a strain on its resources. In the number 6 spot is Niger. Like its neighbor Chad, Niger is a vast, landlocked nation with a large part of its territory covered by the Sahara Desert. A rapidly growing population, coupled with climate change, terrorism, and limited access to education and healthcare, makes it incredibly difficult for people to escape poverty. Breaking into our top 5, at number 5, is Mozambique. Located on the southeastern coast of Africa, Mozambique has a beautiful coastline and is rich in natural resources. However, decades of civil war, followed by frequent extreme weather events like cyclones and floods, have devastated the country's infrastructure and agricultural sector. At number 4, we find the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. The DRC is one of the most resource-rich countries on the planet, with vast deposits of cobalt, copper, and diamonds. Yet decades of conflict, political instability, and corruption have prevented this wealth from benefiting its people, leaving millions in extreme poverty. Now for our top 3. In the number 3 spot is the Central African Republic. This landlocked country has been caught in a cycle of violent conflict for years. The ongoing insecurity has displaced millions of people, destroyed the economy, and made it nearly impossible to provide basic services like healthcare and education. The second poorest country in Africa is Somalia. Located in the Horn of Africa, Somalia has been without a stable central government for decades, leading to widespread lawlessness and conflict. Recurrent droughts and famines have compounded the humanitarian crisis, making life incredibly challenging for its people. And finally, the poorest country in Africa, at number 1, is Burundi. This small landlocked nation in the Great Rift Valley has been plagued by ethnic conflict and political instability since its independence. These issues, combined with high population density and limited natural resources, have resulted in widespread and severe poverty. It's clear that the path out of poverty for these nations is complex, often hindered by a combination of conflict, political instability, climate change, and historical factors. Supporting organizations that work on the ground to provide education, healthcare, and economic opportunities can make a real difference. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that helps us understand our world a little better. See you next time.